Huzzah, Rangers. This is Phil Harris from the Jax Rangers Show. If you hear that bell, that's my cat, Morty. But yeah, I've got Tami McQueen here. My cat just jumped up into my lap, Tami. But you got a beer.
There's so much that I could really say about that, but it's probably censored for this podcast.
I've got a beer. You've got a beer. Let's crack them open. Let's get into this.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So my cat. Cheers. My cat is going to hang out with us here. First time ever. Morty is on the show, guys.
That's amazing. Welcome, Morty.
So plug your podcast and plug your social media for us.
Plug my podcast. All right. So I co-host a podcast called Blood, Sweat, and Beers with Christy Kershey, who plays on the USA women's rugby team. And we are currently talking about the journey to Tokyo as the team is preparing for the Tokyo Olympics coming up later this summer. We interview several of her teammates, talk about what it's like to be training, who they would like to compete against as another athlete in their sport, and just some background on what it's like to be in the Olympic bubble right now. Right. Our social handles, you can find everything at TryBSB. And then my social is just my first and last name, Tami McQueen.
Very cool. Where are you from? You've got an accent.
New Jersey.
That's not true.
I am originally from Johannesburg, South Africa, and actually a really tiny town in South Africa. If you have any South Africans listening, they'll know exactly where it is, but it's Benoni. A tiny town best known for Charlize Theron. Oh. Escape from Benoni, a couple of Roger Federer's mom. You know, we just have a really strange lineup of folks that come out of Benoni. And suburb of Johannesburg. I was born and raised in the country, played tennis quite professionally. Ooh. And was hit, 5'2", and there was just no way I was going to go pro. So I came to the US to play tennis on scholarship, and that's what brought me to the US. Played undergrad in college in Kentucky. Oh. And it's the most non-contact sport out there. Yep. And ended up going to grad school, moved around a couple of years, landed up in Atlanta, and here I am today.
What school did you go to in Kentucky?
I went to Murray State. It's a small Division I school, Western Kentucky. If you're big into basketball, you know the team. Yep. Mid-major every year. Pretty cool.
I went to South Carolina, so, I'm familiar with Kentucky, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you're from the South then. You came down south.
Yes, ma'am. I am from the South. Born and raised in North Carolina. Went to the University of South Carolina, played a little bit of rugby there. Guys, can you see Morty? There she is. She's very interested in the microphone. But yeah, I loved it there. I always wear this. I never take it off. It says Cock Rugby, so Gamecock Rugby. All the way.
Oh, I love that. Okay, very cool.
I used to have one on this wrist, but it broke. I had it for years. I was devastated.
We'll start a Kickstarter campaign for you and get you a new one.
There you go. Thank you.
Maybe sell them for the podcast.
So, how did you join the Free Jacks organization, and what is your official title with them?
So I started working with the Free Jacks last year in a consulting capacity, and just really had an opportunity to build all sorts from the brand and from different digital activations, especially since COVID hit so early on in the season. We shifted everything to a digital landscape, which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with Twitch, the digital draft day. We did some fun activations. And so my day-to-day is in venture capital. And so that's what keeps me busy during the day and most nights, if you know the startup world. And so now I am sort of an ambassador for the Free Jacks and your in-stadium host on game day.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of the Rangers are like, I recognize the voice. This is her, guys. This is Tami.
Listen, I would like the title of Chief Fun Officer. Thank you very much.
No, yeah. All right, this is awesome. So what have you been drinking lately in terms of craft beer? I know that you're in Atlanta. They got any good craft brew in that area?
They really do. We have a lot of local breweries, which are always fun to attend and go to and try different things. Patio weather is fantastic in Atlanta. So we get out early on. I think from March, you have some sunshine and you can get outside. So quite a few local breweries that we have out here, very much similar to the Boston scene where beer is really, really big. I can't say that I'm very much into the into sours or IPAs. I think it might be a foreign thing, but I'm very much into the lagers. So I love a good lager, easy drinking, great for a good time. But I do drink the Free Jacks IPA from Baxter, although I do love their lagers.
One of our good buddies of the show, one of the previous interviews, Ross, is a big lager guy. I don't think he drinks any other beer other than lagers. So
yeah, I'm definitely into lager. I don't know, they're just smooth, easy to drink, a lot of fun. Yeah,
for sure. Where does your passion from the Free Jacks come from? Why are you so passionate about the organization?
Why am I so passionate? Listen, as a South African, it's in your blood. So you leave the hospital in a rugby kit. I think that's just by birth. That's what happens if you're South African. And so grew up a huge rugby fan. I was actually at the 95, oh my God, I'm dating myself, at the 95 Rugby World Cup, which was iconic for the country, right? You had the Springboks versus the All Blacks, and it was just such an important time in the history of South Africa that this came to fruition and was so important. And so it's always been a sport that has brought the nation together. And also with the World Cup in 2019, how it absolutely unified South Africa. And it was during that time where I connected with the Free Jacks team just after that victory, actually. And I was like, absolutely, I am most qualified for this. The Springboks just won the World Cup. I can sing a national anthem in 11 languages. Like, I think this is a great fit. And I have a huge amount of respect for the leadership and for the investment team behind the Free Jacks as well, who have done such incredible things in the sports world, that it was an absolute no-brainer. You know, it's like bet on the jockey. You know, you bet on the jockey before the horse. So that's exactly what I was thinking in this. And it becomes a love for it when you build something from the ground up and you build something from nothing. You have such an attachment to it and such a love for what they've done and belief in what they are doing. It's like, how can I be involved in any capacity? I will wave the flag, you know, at the entrance to Weymouth Stadium.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Who's your favorite player on the team? Do you have one?
Oh gosh, favorite player on the team. I feel like this is like picking favorites here. You know, I think it's interesting. I always gravitate toward some of the South Africans. Last year we didn't have any South Africans on the team, and we've got quite a lineup of South Africans, and I can't help but say that I'm a huge fan of having some Saffers on the team. It's always nice to throw in a Huzzah here and there, and use the correct pronunciation of the names. I feel like Dallin Stanford, commentator and Free Jacks ambassador as well, really nails the commentary and the names as well. So that's always fun. And then several of the guys from last year, whom I'm just a lot more familiar with and having been around longer, have been fun to just get to know them a little bit better through social or in passing. You know, we don't get to chat much match days or anything like that, but certainly a lot of fun.
Right on. Who has the best hair on the team?
The best hair on the team?
Yes.
Listen, you know what I love about this is that guaranteed everyone's saying eagle, Kyle, but we went through his entire regiment of how he actually combs it, how he goes through it. He has a full-on, you know, regiment on how he does this. So I have to give respect to the long mane, but I think there's some interesting guys on the team. I mean, Juggy is absolutely electric blonde hair, which is that lemon he's squeezing on in the sunshine, or is this like proper highlights? I need to know. Yeah. And then we have Waka, who has, you know, sort of the fade and then a little like tied goodie up on the top,
Right.
not sure. And that always just changes. But the guys are always so fresh with their hair. It's amazing. Like they've got their barbers and they are on point. It's like, I need to step up my game.
You're doing just fine. Who is your MVP so far this season, and why is it Dougie Fife, our boy?
Tries and thighs, baby. We've had this discussion. I love it. No, I think, you've seen some incredible athleticism. Obviously, Dougie has shown up match in and match out with his tries and his thighs. And then we have, Harry Barlow is super fast on the field and always consistently showing up as well. We've seen a lot of muscle from the South African guys, and that's fun to see. Also, I think everyone's just really consistently showing up. John Poland continues to be the magician on the team, which is so fun. And then, of course, back to Dougie, and the Harrison Boyle combo is just phenomenal.
Absolutely. So I know that you work for the Free Jacks. You're not an MLR employee, so I think you can answer this one honestly. What team or teams do you dislike in MLR, and why?
I know you are trying to push me toward New York. I just know you are. You have like in the chat here, it is New York. I haven't seen, I'm trying to think of the matches that we've seen in person, and I'm not sure that there's anyone that I dislike, but I think I really appreciate a strong rivalry among teams. And I think just seeing how that has been fostered among some of the teams is really, really cool. I think seeing how Toronto and Atlanta have done that fire and ice competition. I love that now, the Free Jacks and Rooney are really putting at least some competition against that. We'll see that in July as well, in June, sorry. So I think that's quite interesting. I'm not sure that there's a team that I can really speak to enough. I know you're looking for something a little edgy here, but maybe a couple more sips and I can get back to this question.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, rivalry is so important in all sports, and in rugby, with this being a relatively new league and people finding the league every single week with the broadcast and getting interested, rivalry is going to be very, very important. And the local ones that we have there's such a storied history between New York and Boston, right? So we need to lean into that, and we're doing the best that we can over here at the Jacks Rangers show, and poking fun with Rooney and stuff like that and their supporters. So it is very important to have that rivalry. Another team that we just don't dislike here, we don't like here, is LA. The name, the attitude, the wins that they've had, the early success. Yeah, we're no fans.
Hey, listen, I am still convinced their logo looks like throwback LA gear of the 90s.
Right.
I will say it over and over again. But listen, huge respect to the team. Sure. They have built a world-class organization. They brought in some incredible players. Yep. They are committed to that, building that organization like on the world stage. So It's impressive. Their wins are impressive. You don't just put together a brand new team for the first time in their league without impressive, culture from the top down and bottom up. So listen, I have a huge amount of respect for them. Can't knock them. Their marketing is on point. As a marketer myself, I'm like, you guys have got something going there. I'm just glad that they're on the West.
Right.
But again, when you're building a brand new league, rivalry is so important, especially when you don't have hardcore fans. We have our founding members, and those are the hardcore fans. But you really need to build a fan base that is beyond your hardcore fans. It goes like, listen, there could be expats, there could be the brand new grassroots movement that are kiddos. And then you have just folks that are brand new to the sport that you have to bring them in some capacity. And I think rivalry does that, and it brings different regions together. And I think it's going to be a big part of what we do.
For sure. And LA, if you're watching this, we don't like you, but dang it, we respect you.
Yes, that's very well said. I love it.
So what other than the Free Jacks, what other pro sports team do you support the most and why?
Oh, I am a huge Manchester United fan.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. Like,
I've been a Manchester fan for 20 years.
What?
That's crazy.
What? That's insane. Okay, so like hardcore Man U fan, I have every single kit that they've ever had from when I was about 5 years old.
That's incredible.
Mega fan.
Wow.
So I grew up, my dad played soccer in South Africa, and I grew up, he was like the first paid transfer in South African clubs. It was wild. And this was back in the day when there were sanctions against South Africa during apartheid, so there was no international play. Anyway, fast forward, I come around into the world. And so my dad, being the mega Man U supporter, I grew up in a household where we watched every single Premiership match. We watched UEFA. We watched the FA Cup final. Every year was like our Super Bowl. It was massive. I grew up, obviously, when, Alex Ferguson, hero. I mean, Nicky Butt, Scholes, Beckham, Philip Neville, Gary Neville. Like, that was my dream team. And still, to this day, I am a mega fan.
I don't know if you're familiar with these guys, Stretford Paddock on YouTube and Facebook. They do an amazing job of breaking down the games and having fan reactions and stuff like that. I highly suggest checking out Stretford Paddock. For anybody that's a Manchester United fan, go check them out. They are fantastic. They do a great job on YouTube.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
That's so crazy that you're a Man U fan. I've been a Man U fan for 20 something years. It's so cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I think there's just so much history there. I love what they do. And I've been able to go to, when I've been traveling for work to the UK, I've been to a match, and it is just electric. The energy, the entertainment, it is phenomenal. I love that we figured that out. That's so cool.
That's great. So now we have something in common here. Let's see here. So final thing for you here, Tami, then I'll get you out of here. So we do one word association on the show. So I'm going to say a word or just a couple of words, and I want you to give me a one-word response. The first thing that pops up.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
And before I say that, obviously I'm a huge rugby fan, much bigger than soccer. So guys, don't unsubscribe just because we like soccer. We love rugby. I like soccer, but I love rugby. All right.
We love rugby.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So one word association. The first one is Mags.
Hero.
Ooh, I like that. The Eagle.
Mullet.
All right. Coach Ryan Martin.
Mustache.
Me too. All right. So our show, Jack's Rangers.
Viral.
I don't know about that yet. Hopefully one day. John Poland.
Magician.
Rooney.
Who?
Rooney.
Who?
You're the third person that has done that at some point during this. That's hilarious. Gil Gronies.
Gil Gronies?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Negroni.
Right. Yeah, the cocktail, of course. Yeah. All right, that was it, Tami.
That's it? Man, I was just getting ready. I was just getting warmed up for that.
That's all I got for you. I appreciate your time so much. This was great. Let's do it again.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, and cheers. Thanks for the beer, and thanks for the great laughs too.